Every weekday, I sit down in my first period. For 1 whole hour, my teacher teaches, I take notes, I get my homework of the week, and then the bell rings. I walk to my next class, the same thing on repeat. 6 times, 5 days a week, for the past 5 years. Is this education or just words from a random teacher?
Free advanced education for those who qualify and deserve it. Lifting the profession means respecting the voice and seeking input of teachers when creating policies, not just asking teachers to co-sign someone else's plan. True, authentic engagement requires shared ownership and multiple perspectives. Second only to parents, who knows the students best?
This documentary, we hope in the next 20 years we would like to see drastic improvement in the education system by increasing teacher pay, focus on public school funding, and heal the creative deprivation in students.
A lot of students are miserable due to the lack of creative freedom in schools. Another reason students are stressed is because of the academic pressure that their parents, teachers, and others put on them. Social anxiety is a huge reason that students are unmotivated. Student engagement and motivation only decreases further with each grade. A Youth Truth Analysis of survey from 2012 to 2017 found that 78% of students were engaged in their learning in elementary school, declining to 59% in middle school and high school, as well as only 50% of students of what they're learning in school to be relevant.
So definitely the freedom and, like I said before, the interest of the child is very important. That freedom, flexibility, is what ends up being a creative product. If they have that freedom, they could be free to create something that fulfills XYZ requirements.
Oh, definitely. What has occurred because of budget cuts, a lot of the extracurricular activities and courses that students could take, they have been, of course, taken out. Are we talking about public schools as well at this time? Yes, they were cut out. The first things that were cut out when I was department chair, of course, PE, they're taking that online, and art courses, and then also students that needed to be remediated, and their courses were taken away from them too. So students had little time for creativity because of the high stakes testing.
My fear is that we go backwards in with regard to our urgency. That now that masks are off and things are looking like they were before March 2020, that we go back to the systems that serve some students better than others.
There are a few teaching methods to help, PBL or phenomenon-based learning, and it seems to be showing great promise. Research shows that PBL has demonstrated improved student outcomes in its 2-year span, and integrated learning has been tied to improved performance. A study of 6th grade classes that integrated arts into the core curriculum noticed an increase in reading scores by 50%, mathematics scores by 18%. A research conducted by the Bay Atlantic University found that kinesthetic learning helps critical and analytical thinking skills, which may improve through experimentation with various techniques and strategies in interacting with studies. While it's common knowledge that students are miserable from academic pressure and lack of creative freedom, public school teachers themselves are miserable for a plethora of reasons, with one of their biggest being public school funding.
Private schools are also more common in Florida. Florida residents are beginning to choose private school over public school. Why? Their education systems are different. Florida is one of the top 5 states for private school education, usually because private schools are only good if there's a weak education system already. When the whole state has its education systems and schools beginning to fail, it starts to become a problem where they have to introduce private schools, which makes them less bad than their public school counterparts.
Absolutely not. Public schools are necessary to develop a productive society. The people in every economic level of this country need to be able to become informed citizens for the sake of keeping our democracy. Public education is important for our whole society because it increases civic involvement, lowers crime rates, and increases overall health.
Even with all these flaws and complaints, nobody's trying to fix it. Many people think that the American education system is one of the best in the world and would not change a thing, and that there's more important issues at the current moment. Education is one of the most important things due to helping us form future generations and carry out our society. The American education system isn't the best in the world if less than 20% of the state funds go to it. But if we don't fix the education system, we leave the next generation in jeopardy and are forced to deal with the mess we made. People need to take action and speak out about the changes that we need to fix our education system. If you feel the same, we can help solve this issue by funding public schools in your area or joining special interest groups relevant to your opinions about education.